This is episode 20 of 33, the story of my life and my diagnosis with bipolar disorder. Today's episode is about discovering and writing poetry as a form of survival. June poetry, year age 20. I started writing poetry in middle school. Just little fragments at first, phrases, daydreams, things I didn't feel safe saying out loud. By the time I was 16, writing had become my lifeline. I was living in survival mode, trying to navigate the rules of a house where silence was expected and emotions were inconvenient. My mom didn't understand the storms in my head, so I stopped trying to explain them. I wrote instead. I wrote to stay sane. I wrote to stay kind. I wrote so I wouldn't disappear. I kept all of my poems in a binder, handwritten in tiny, careful script with no capital letters because I loved E.E. Cummings and hated the idea of rules. That binder held hundreds of poems, every version of me from 13 to 18, every heartbreak, rebellion, question, and truth. I couldn't say it out loud. At the time, I was with my ex-husband, Cody. I was 20, with someone who made me feel small. He abused me and yelled. He never encouraged me to be bold either, never wanted me to be seen. He didn't celebrate my weirdness, he tried to tame it. Tried to keep me quiet, manageable, easy to explain, just like my mom did. So one day I threw the binder away. All those poems, pages and pages of who I used to be, gone. And I regret it every day. But here's the thing. Before I threw it away, my 18-year-old self had digitized some of them. She knew they mattered. She knew someone, me, would need them someday. And years later, I found those files. 100 poems. Raw, sad, brilliant, awkward, fearless. I gathered them up like broken teeth and glued them back together. I named the book. I called it Great. Not because I thought the poems were perfect, but because I wanted to reclaim the part of me that believed she could be something. I published it on Amazon. No capital letters in the poems. No apologies. Here's a copy of it right here. My original one had a piece of scrapbook paper with white magnolias on it, which are the Mississippi flower, which is where my family is from. And as you can see, all of the poems inside are written in small lowercase font, and I have the age I wrote the poem at the top as well. These were written at 16. Because poetry didn't just save me as a teen. Releasing it as an adult helped rescue me again. Now every time I read those words, I feel her. The girl who wrote through pain, the girl who stayed, the girl who wasn't quiet even when she was. And I say thank you for surviving, for writing, for being great, even when no one said it out loud. Thank you for watching. If you want that poetry book, it's available on Amazon or on my website, mcoart.com, where I'll make you a copy with a custom cover that I paint myself. I'll be back tomorrow at 3:33 p.m. with episode 21. Thanks for following along.